up, man?
Hey, man. How are you doing?
I am, I'm pretty good. I can't entirely complain. It's been a pretty interesting day.
Well, you probably could complain, but you probably shouldn't.
Why not?
Because I don't care.
You don't care how I feel?
Mm-mm. Not even a little.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I got sad one day,
Okay.
and I called you,
Yeah.
would you care?
Yeah.
You would care.
Yeah. Because we're friends. And you're sad. It's just the, I don't know, like the exposition of bullshit I don't care about.
That's actually success. So, anyways, let's just jump right into it after that really sad, little tidbit there. So we're gonna do what we did, and we're gonna be going through a bunch of different topics of things of the breaking news.
Nope.
So we're gonna do so we're gonna do what I did to you on the mock one, and we're gonna end up in an argument.
Mock lock. Take that.
Pop, lock, and drop it.
Take that,
Pop,
haters.
lock, and drop it. You can't know.
American man.
So, sir,
Yeah.
tell me about the first thing that you were going to talk about hopping on this podcast today.
All right. So, I've had this weird growth on my bed. I'm just kidding. No. So yeah, we're gonna go over. We're starting off hot. Caitlyn Clark.
This is a good one. This is actually this topic. A lot of people I think can agree with this. They don't really follow a lot of the WNBA, right?
Well, yeah, because it's the WNBA. No disrespect, but the WNBA has had some pretty bad marketing forever.
Yeah.
Since its inception.
So I think when it comes to all that, people haven't been paying attention. But everyone loves a good drama story. Everyone likes when things kind of like not go astray, but they go, oh, there's drama. We want to tune in. So right now I know Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark kind of beefing. And apparently this has been going on since they were like in high school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they've been beefing for quite a long time.
Yeah, so the thing is and what we talked about the other week is TikTok allows you to, what's the word? Be a part of a bunch of different communities, be a part of a bunch of different situations where you're always kind of encapsulated with all of it.
With all of what?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you? That's what I'm asking.
Like, so we don't watch WNBA.
Right.
So now that you and I don't watch it, we don't really tune into it. We don't follow it on Twitter. We don't follow it on whatever. All this drama and all this stuff is being tossed into our algorithm. And now we're here.
Gotcha.
So when it comes to all this, we're like, oh, hey, there's drama. This is kind of cool. Here's this girl who came out of Iowa who is shooting threes like no one's ever seen. And now she's on the Indiana Fever, right?
Yep.
What? was I?
No, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. So I knew when that started happening, I'm like, yo, like she's actually pretty good. Like good for her. And of course, you're watching like all like the highlight reels, and everyone's like, "Oh, look at this girl." And she's what you said? She's how tall?
6 feet.
6 feet. Jeez.
Taller than one half of the podcast.
Do you want to?
Huh?
Do you want to?
What's up?
Do you want to say something to me?
No. I was just making a statement based on a fact.
How about I fucking? I'm 6 foot. I'm 6 foot, right?
And heart. You're 6 foot in theory. If the theory was about men that are not 6 feet saying they were 6 feet.
I'm 5'11" and a half.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep, always gotta have that. I was waiting for it. You don't You haven't hit 6 feet, and you have to have something in there: a quarter, a half, a third, a tenth, a fucking eighth. I don't know.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2". Well, technically, I'm like 6'1", and whatever the inch or like whatever the marking is before 6'2" officially. So I'm.
How about you give me an inch, dude? Just give me. The
You'll take a
inch.
mile.
A what?
Give you an inch, you'll take a
Keep
mile.
on. Anyways, Caitlyn Clark, why did I slap the table? Sorry, guys.
I don't know. All right, yeah. Well, okay. So, did you follow any of the stuff that happened in college with them?
I know that Angel Reese beat them the year before, and then Caitlyn Clark. Yeah. Do that again. The ringy dingy situation.
Yeah.
I know that just this past year, LSU lost to Iowa.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a whole thing. And I don't really know any of the drama. I'm sure you know a lot more than I do. And you have the whole...
I mean, it was just basically the same. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just more like Angel Reese was talking crap about really just like Caitlyn Clark and about the Iowa squad, like, because everyone thought that LSU was going to lose. Or like whoever was talking, whatever. It really wasn't that they thought LSU was going to lose, but more so they were just like giving their flowers to Iowa, and I guess she didn't like that. And then there was some jawing back and forth, and then Caitlyn Clark came out and they won the next year, which was last year, and so it was funny in a way because when Angel Reese won. She was like quick to and she kind of got flamed for it on like TikTok and Twitter and whatever, where she was like super fit, like quick to jump in and be like, yeah, like throw it in everybody's face and be like, no, everyone doubted me, and really that wasn't the case. And then when she lost, it was like all of a sudden, like literally, like she lost, and it was like, I'm a woman and I'm being sexually harassed and like I'm being like, stuff like that. And I'm not taken seriously because I'm a girl, and like all this stuff went into it. And the problem that comes into play here is you have two women getting drafted by the WNBA, and they're at the top of they're like at the pinnacle of their sport. Like it's a handful of women went into the league this year that are at the top of their game, and there's some women that might be going in next draft that are could join them. The problem though is Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark, they beef, but Angel Reese won't like give Caitlyn her flowers, even though Caitlyn will give her flowers.
Because I know it's a very one-sided beef. Well, it's not one-sided beef, but it's very one-sided where one person's talking shit.
Yeah.
And the other person's like, oh, she's great, yada, 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 because Caitlyn doesn't even have social media on her phone.
Yeah, I didn't know
Which
that.
she was in this, like, not like interview situation, but I know someone was interviewing her, talking to her, and she's like, yeah, I don't really have social media on my phone. And I'm like, dude. After she was like, yeah, Angel Reese, this and this and this, she's really great, and everyone on there is awesome. Because, dude, she was getting, like, knocked around.
Yeah, she's getting bullied a little bit. Well, she's also getting bullied by women that are bigger than her, and honestly, I have the feeling that like Caitlyn may be saying some stuff in the game or some stuff that transpired, prior to this, or where the cameras really aren't seeing or isn't really known to the public maybe, but because we saw that Caitlyn does have emotion, like raw emotion, in the final bracket or like the final game, or was it like the final four or something like that, where she had a foul called on her and she like lost her mind, and to the point where like because her dad's like always in the crowd, he was like she was looking at him like screaming like what the fuck and so on and so forth, and he was like like you could read his lips, he was like calm down, Jesus Christ, like
damn.
like, yeah, because it was like she was just bitching about a call and she was like throwing a temper tantrum. You know what I mean? Like she was just, So I could see Caitlyn having some sharp words to say on the court. The problem though is whoever is in the right or the wrong, Angel Reese is talking more from like in petty emotion, where Caitlyn Clark is talking more of like marketing style, like marketing wise. Like she has a better marketing team around her, it seems like, than Angel Reese does, simply based on every time Caitlyn Clark opens her mouth while in the WNBA, she's like you said, like giving everyone their flowers. And yeah, I'm just here to play the game. The game gets physical. I don't worry about it, so on and so forth. And then Angel Reese is like more of like that person that's like seems a little more real, I guess, in a sense of like, that was bullshit. She's bullshit.
Yeah.
Nobody hates her. It's all about not everything's about her. It's about me too, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I think she's just kind of digging herself a little bit of a hole here in talking about Reese, because she just needs to. I think she just needs to bury the vendetta or whatever she's got going on if she can, or make it less obvious.
It's embarrassing because if it's like a two-sided internet beef, right? Like a two-sided situation where say you and I are beefing on the internet, right? Oh, and I'm like, oh, fuck you, Gavin. Fuck this, fuck that. Like, we're talking about all this stuff, and then you're saying it back to me. People are tuning in. People are like, oh, dude, these guys are beefing. But then if I go, like, F you, Gavin, you're the worst, yada, 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 and you go, oh, I love that guy.
Yeah.
I look more of an, like an asshole.
That's what,
than you do. And I think the problem is like, and like that little interview thing that you quoted, like the full thing is like she was talking about like, oh yeah, if I gotta be the villain, I'll own that. And I'm like, dude, like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You could just not be disrespectful.
Well, that might be her role though. No, I'm saying like she might be the villain. Like some players just have that like natural like ability to piss off everyone else, or that natural, I guess, ability to be like more on like the cutting edge, quote unquote, like more of like a risky take, I guess, on things, because she's the one that's out there doing the most talking. And really, if you're Caitlyn, I mean, you just have to kind of sit back and just kind of endure like all the stuff going on. But really what it comes down to is like, I think the problem is at the end of the day, you have these women coming in and actually giving your sport proper media coverage, proper, like, you know, more eyes on the sport.
Yeah.
Which is something women have been in and around this scene been begging for and pushing for years and years and years. And now you have this woman, whether you love her or hate her, in Caitlyn Clark, just being a polarizing figure coming into the WNBA, and all I see is old WNBA stars or current WNBA stars just shitting all over her, and not even giving her, like, before she even played one game, they were like, oh, she's going to have a rude awakening, though she's not going to be shooting those threes in our sport or our game or whatever. And guess what? She goes out there and crosses them up and bangs a three. And then there's
a lot of those clips too.
Yeah.
A lot.
And
of
it's
those
like
clips.
she's literally the WNBA's version of Steph Curry at the moment. Like, but that's what I mean. People like to see that. It's not something we're really used to seeing with the WNBA. And is it a hard market to break into? Of course. You're talking about some of the best athletes on the planet in the NBA putting on spectacular performances, game in and game out, crazy playoff series, crazy hype, crazy atmosphere, crazy players, like just whatever. Best players on the planet dominating in the Olympics every year or every Olympics.
Well, that's the other thing too. I noticed she's not on the Olympic team. And I'm not saying like, you know, some girl. Oh, sorry. Some girl needs, like, that came out of college needs to be on the Olympic team, you know, but
she already was on the Olympic team.
Caitlyn Clark. Oh, I didn't know this.
Caitlyn Clark, Haley Van Lith, and Paige Buchers, I think, were all on, or some. I think so.
Then I have it wrong, and I'm okay admitting that, because I don't always watch the WNBA, but here we are talking about it. Like, do you ever think you and I would be doing a podcast on the WNBA?
No.
But I'm not trying to take anything away from them by any means. They could cross me up any day of the week. But point being is, she should have been on that team, because you have to think about what you want to represent. LeBron talked about it. I can't think of his name. Retired NBA player. I think he's dude, I can't remember his name. Shocker. But they're all like
well, yeah. It's a problem you see with any it's mainly the problem, I think, with the NBA. Anytime you are at the height of your time, right? You're at the top of the game. And then the generations move on and grow up, and now there's a new top of the mountain, which is a bigger mountain, right?
Yeah, 100%.
It's hard to swallow. It's a hard pill to be like, hey, 30 years ago, I was this. I was making all the money. I had all the cameras on me. Now I got to give my flowers to someone else that, in every way, almost is better than me, or is more athletic than I am, or is bigger than me, or whatever it is. And we see it all the time in the NBA, like the constant battle of who's better, Jordan or LeBron? Who's a better athlete? Who's a better player? Dude, LeBron is a freak of fucking nature. To be that big and that athletic and that good at the sport is just, it's in multiple sports, because he was also really good at football. So he's a genetic freak.
Why did I never know he played football?
Well, he played football in high school, and then they were like, they wanted to make him either a wide receiver or a tight end, probably a tight end. But he'd be one of the tallest, if not the tallest tight end ever. It's 6'9".
What? He's 6'9"?
Yeah.
I'm 6'9".
Yeah. Okay.
Are you saying I'm not 6'9"?
I'm saying you're not 6'9". You're not even the rapper 6'9".
I'm like 6 foot, dude.
No. There's a half.
So I'm 6'1.5"?
No. Whoa. It's a fucking inch and a half.
6'1.5".
No.
What do you... Anywho's, Nazem.
No, so, yeah, LeBron is a freak of nature. And the thing is, Jordan himself, obviously being the competitor he wasn't going to just sit back and be like, yeah, LeBron's better than me, so on and so forth. But we see it, the point I'm making is we see it now. We're watching it happen again.
Yeah.
Because we watched it as we were growing up. We may not have been in the scene because we was 2000, early 2000s, so we were quite small. You being smaller than me because I'm older than you. Get wrecked.
Literally by, what, a year?
When's your birthday?
I don't know if I want to say it on a podcast. But
What year?
99.
Couldn't be it could have been a 98, but anyway, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's just a year, but
I'm cooler.
Anyway, yeah. So we see it now with Caitlyn Clark and going into the WNBA. All these women are just they're just jawing at her. They're not giving her credit, her flowers. They're saying she's overrated. They're saying they're digging down and bringing out the race card. Like, they're coming down and saying that she's got privilege. Not only white privilege, but pretty privilege.
Didn't they say tall privilege at one point?
I don't know. No, she's like one of the smaller. She's like normal height for the NBA, the WNBA, I think. At least for her position, I think.
Interesting.
But no, they were saying the same. They were like, "Oh, she's got." But what's funny was before she went into the WNBA, before she declared for the draft, people were like, "Oh, she's ugly. How are y'all saying you would date her and like you would want to talk to her and stuff?" As soon as she declares for the WNBA draft, she's got pretty privilege. She's gonna na. Like, bro. And then even now, all these games later, they're still talking like she's not what they expect. Like, oh, she's not the full package. She's not what the Fever thought they were going to get with her. My brother in Christ, she's the one carrying the she's literally 05 LeBron. Like, she's 04 to 14 LeBron, or 04 to 9 LeBron.
See, like, I feel bad because I don't have a lot of experience with a lot of these players, simply because of the fact that I really didn't watch a lot of sports. So I feel like when people do the comparison of like LeBron or Kobe or LeBron or Jordan, I know it's a lot of the time it's LeBron and Jordan, but I always feel like if you say somebody is watching me, I'm going to have an actual aneurysm. But point being though is I had to watch some like comparison videos because they were trying to like.
All right, do you want me to break it down for you?
Yeah, break it.
All right,
break it down in the comments.
So do you know?
I knew you were gonna do that.
Let me break it down for you.
Did you just emote?
All right, so when I say 03 to 09 LeBron, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
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 All right. So basically,
Hundo P, bro.
When LeBron James came into the NBA, he was put in a dumpster fire of an organization, being the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not a good team, not a good city to play in, not a good market, not good anything.
Okay.
He himself proving himself to be the best player or one of the best players as a rookie, and then as a first year, second year, so on and so forth, just getting better and better, was drawing people to go to these games and drawing more attention and eyes on him and the team. The team sucked besides him. 2007, right? They go to their first NBA Finals. He drags that team to the finals. Himself put the entire team on his back. And then carried that team. They lost, obviously, to the Spurs. And then
Bit of a spur of the moment.
I think it was the next year he lost to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, if I'm not mistaken. Then the year after that was 2009. 2009, I forget how the playoffs ended for him. He didn't do much, or the team didn't do much. But once again, every year he's putting up the most numbers, the most rebounds, like putting up the most, like he's doing all the flashy plays, all the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's carrying the team on his back, no help.
Who is that has like the? Oh wait, never mind. Never mind.
Yep.
You don't know what I'm gonna ask.
Nope.
Okay.
He had no help. Then 2010, he decides, hey, I'm going to leave and I'm going to go play for the Heat. Everybody started hating him for no reason, because they thought they were calling him a traitor and a backstabber and like a wimp and a pussy and all this stuff, because he wanted to go into a market where he could win with players that he could win a championship with. And guess what they did the first year he was on the team?
What?
Lost to the Dallas Mavericks in the finals.
Oh!
But you know what they did the second year he was on the team?
What?
They won the NBA Finals.
Okay.
And you know what they did the third year?
What?
They won the NBA Finals. You know what they did the fourth year?
Lost
the NBA Finals to the Spurs. You know what they did the fifth year? Nothing, because the team broke up and LeBron went back to Cleveland. But you know what he did?
Carried them to the finals.
With a rookie or a second year in Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love,
They
took them to the finals. They lost. But then he proceeds to take that same Cavaliers team, adding a couple pieces here and there. Kyrie is perfecting his game. Things are looking good. J.R. Smith is added. Kevin Love is shooting threes, not missing. Dellavedova is guarding some of the best players in the world, and he's a small dude from somewhere that's not America. You know what happens? They go down to the same team, the Golden State Warriors. They go down 3-1 in the NBA Finals. And LeBron James locks the fuck in. And for the first time in NBA history, the Cleveland Cavaliers were the team to come back from a 3-1 game deficit and win the NBA Finals.
So is that where that they lost, or they lost a 3-1 lead? Is that where that comes from?
That's where that comes from. That would have encapsulated the greatest season of a basketball team ever, because they went 72-9 and beating the record of 71-10 by the Bulls, I think. And then they would have won the finals, and that would have been like the greatest team ever. LeBron said, "Fuck all that noise." So then you know what the Warriors did? They would not picked up Kevin Durant. And then
I know he's good.
Then they swept the Cavs in the finals again.
So they won 3-0.
4-0.
4-0. 4-0.
And then you know what happened? LeBron went to L.A.
Damn.
Anyway. No.
Damn, dude.
I think they got swept. I don't remember, really. I think they got swept in 18, actually. Or no, 18 was the year he went to the... I feel
like I'm learning so much, because I feel like I don't know a lot. Like, I think... Because I always heard the meme.
Yeah. Well, the problem is Jordan and LeBron is the age-old debate of who's better, who's the GOAT, who's the GOAT, who's the GOAT. You have LeBron, or you have Jordan on one hand, 6 rings, never lost in the finals, 3-0 after coming back from retirement. and won 3 straight finals. The problem with Michael Jordan fans is that they think that's his entire career. Michael Jordan, that was not his entire career. So even though when he got to the finals he did not lose, he also needed a lot of help to get there, right? Like, lest we forget the Scottie Pippen rebounds, or the Dennis Rodman rebounds, right? The Steve Kerr shots, right? Like, you forget a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because Jordan had so much like aura, you would say. Like, he's got so much of that like killer instinct. He's like the first one to bring that into the game or whatever. Jordan or LeBron holds all the accolades. Most points ever by a player, one of the most assists ever, rebounds. He's played for 21, 22 years, longevity. He's still pretty within the top, I would say probably top 20, 25 players in the NBA.
When did he stop playing?
Who?
Jordan
was 3 or 4? 3?
Dude, I was 4 years old.
He should have stopped in 2000. He left the Bulls to go and play for the Wizards. Big mistake. Big mistake. Did nothing with the Wizards.
Oh, really?
It was just like one of those where like you can't let go. Like, he should have retired, but he couldn't let go. He was pushing 40. Then he hit 40, and then they're like, Now you see LeBron at 40, looking like he's in way better shape. Putting up way better numbers, and is just more, I would say LeBron probably has, love him or hate him, probably has had the best career, I would say, overall throughout the grand scheme of things, because even though he only has 4 rings as opposed to 6, I don't see. I just, all his other accolades and stuff, you can't put it back. But that's what people argue about. They go back and forth. Who's better? Who's better? Who's better?
Yeah, and so that's the thing. People always like talk about it. People always like have their opinions online, and I just feel like, well, now I have more of an insight. Just, in my head, especially with this whole Caitlyn Clark thing, a lot of that just kind of comes back onto my timeline. Like, all these questions, all the people going, oh, well, who's really is better, LeBron or Jordan? And like I watch the videos, and then I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, but like those games, and everyone's talking about it, like they have so much. Like, okay, take for example you, right? While you're talking in my head, I'm like, how do you remember all this stuff? And it blows my mind, because I feel like I could tell you X amount of things, but when it comes to sports, like I'm pretty sure if I told you who the Red Sox played 3 years ago on their 30th game, you probably could tell me.
The Kansas City Royals, and it was no, I was kidding. I don't know it like that. I don't know the Red Sox like that. I could tell you who the last time the Red Sox won a World Series, 2018.
You answered that question.
I could tell you the MVP in 2007. Jimmy Rollins, which was a controversial call, but he did have some crazy numbers. But it was controversial because Cal Ripken Matt Holliday was up there for power numbers and
I was there
RBIs.
For that. Yeah.
When he was in the Rockies.
So how about the next thing now? Now, this is something that I actually have gotten to understand over the past 2 years, and why you hate umpires so fucking.
I'm really glad that you understand now a little bit of like my anguish.
So can I tell you how that all kind of happened?
Mm-hmm.
So when we were talking, and like we're doing the podcast, and like you and I agree on literally everything. We actually have trouble. You don't think so? How about the one day when we're like, let's see what we're gonna disagree on, and you went, all right, and then we couldn't. Yeah. So you're like, you should learn more about baseball. So your phone kind of knows you, and like, I'm like watching clips. I'm trying to like learn some other shit, and cause I understand the fundamental about baseball. I know a lot of the teams. I get it.
What is a balk?
A balk? I know this one. It's when the pitcher's foot comes off of the mound of like the tape or the rubber, and then they are out of position, or they're out. You know what I'm saying? Am I like sort of there?
You're kind of there.
Yeah, like I know what a balk is. Like,
It's basically anytime the a pitcher is set,
and
then makes his move to throw to home plate, and that is interrupted. Once he's set, like.
Yeah, that's what I knew. Like if I saw it, I'd be like, oh, that's balk.
Yeah, so like it's trying to prevent people from being like going to pitch, and then as soon as a runner goes to steal, you like stop, even though your left foot is not planted and you're in your motion, you can stop and then whip the ball, and it's just one of those rules.
That's stupid. See, smart man.
Sure.
Anywho's Nazem. It was like one
What
of
is
those
an infield fly?
An infield fly.
The infield fly rule.
An infield fly rule is if there's a fly ball in the infield that if you catch it, they are out.
Oh, so like any other fly ball?
So you have.
Yeah. Okay.
So you go ahead. You can explain.
That's okay.
But anyways, so what I was trying to get to, right? For testing my baseball knowledge, was it was one of those like, yo, top 5 umps worst situations in baseball, and 2 of them were Angel Hernandez.
They all should have been Angel Hernandez.
And it was like I think like the number 1 was the one with Angel Hernandez that I really like pissed me off. I can't tell you who was at plate, and I can't tell you who was playing. I mean, if the jerseys I could tell, but I don't remember now, and I don't even know who was playing. But I knew it was Angel Hernandez because it had his fucking name. But regardless, throws the ball. So obviously there's your strike zone, and we have technology now where you can see where the ball is. And he's like strike. And like if like the strike zone's here, I could probably do some like little effect on the thing, but it's like so outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then, whoom, so outside, strike again, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, yo, this is annoying. And then, and I know you know this because I talked about it to you. I don't remember who it was. And I don't think it was Angel Hernandez, but it could have been. An ump was like, if you talk anymore or whatever it is, you're getting thrown out. Mm-hmm. And then I guess someone from the crowd said something or whoever said something, and the camera is still on the coach's face. You know what I'm talking?
Aaron Boone.
That's Aaron Boone. Okay, cool.
Yankees.
Yeah, for the Yankees.
Because then he comes out, he's like, I didn't fucking say anything.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't fucking say anything. That's actually happened a couple times. Not to Aaron Boone, it's specific. Well, it actually has happened to him a couple times, but other umpires or other coaches, where a player will be jawing from the dugout. The ump will look at the coach and be like, "Yo, shut up." Coach is like, he might be jawing like, "Go fuck yourself." And then one of the players might be like, pussy," and then he's like, "Oh, that's it, you're out." And then he's pointing to the coach or to a player or something. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." We've seen it where players got thrown out by what the coach says, vice versa. It's a big thing.
Yeah, see,
but that's a thing in MLB is once you get ejected, it's a done deal. You can't be like unejected.
Really?
And you're fined. Every time you get ejected, you get like a $10,000 fine or like a $20,000 fine.
So like, what's his face? Bryce Harper gets ejected a bunch of times.
He's the most ejected player playing today.
I feel like every time I see like an ejected person, 2 of them are like
Bryce.
The
problem with Bryce is he had a temper. He still has a temper, and he doesn't know how to shut the fuck up sometimes.
Temper.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Angel Hernandez is really was really bad at his job.
Yeah.
And he was bad for a long time. Not saying that I could do any better because it's an extremely difficult thing to be an MLB umpire and be consistent. But, man, he was bad.
Yeah.
You know who else is pretty bad? Like, just along the same line? Joe West. Joe West is fucking terrible. Joe West needs to retire. They need to go hold hands and skip down the lane. You know, you have guys that I can't remember their names now, obviously, because I need to.
See what happens? Like, when we have those conversations, and I'm like,
Dan Iasonia Dan, I so
Like I don't even like why it's not it's go ahead.
Dan Iasonia is another one that I don't even know if he's still umpiring, but he needed to fucking go. If he is, he needs to go. He's pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know that things like that piss me off because I know a little bit ago you were talking about like robo umps, right? And that might not be a bad thing. It's kind of funny because they say like robots are going to replace all of our jobs and stuff like that. However, it is kind of wild because I feel like, all of us are watching these things, whether it's soccer, whether it's football, whether it's whatever it is, and we're watching it from the cameras and from our TVs, and they have all this fancy schmancy technology, AI, whatever you want to call it, and it's like, we're like, oh no, that was a ball.
Yeah.
And these umps are calling it in real time, and we're like, that's just wildly incorrect, but we can't really do anything about it because we're watching it on TV.
Yeah.
But if they had the robot, weren't they in testing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was in the minors or in college or something, but they were in testing for, and it was one of those things where ump made a call, or the call was the call, and then they challenged it, and it was it was like, oh, actually you're right, it was a ball. And I think MLB, and this is something that people have been like have a discussion board about for the past like 5 years. The MLB in the 90s was like one of the best things ever in America because it was a steroid era. It was
a what?
The steroid era.
Steroid era. Wow.
You had the Mark McGwire, you had the home run race in the late 90s. The year I was born, actually, 98. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa going at it. Who can hit the most home runs in the season? It was just one of those things where it was a big thing to be a baseball fan. Movies were coming out left and right. It was like a big, huge thing. Kind of like football is now, I guess.
Sure.
Then somewhere around the mid to late 2000s, baseball started to slowly kind of die. Rules were getting changed. Presentation was getting changed. Marketing was getting changed. And the focus shifted more towards sports like football and basketball.
Sure.
So baseball kind of fell to the wayside a little bit.
Yeah.
Early 2010s were like, okay.
My grandfather won't like you saying that, but
well, whatever. The 2010s were like, okay, whatever. Then around 2016, 2015, 2016, you had guys now bringing a little more pizzazz to the game, little refresher course to the game. The guys like Bryce Harper coming into his own, even though he's been in the MLB for a couple years before this. Aaron Judge coming in as a rookie, being really good for a rookie. Guys like Giancarlo Stanton, formerly known as Mike Stanton. These guys are coming in they were doing the things that they were walking the path that was paved by the guys before them, like the Tim Lincecums, the Brian Wilsons, the David Ortiz, the Albert Pujols. Guys that have been playing for years and years and years before this through the rough times.
Yeah.
Keeping the eyes on that,
sure.
like on the sport because of them. Going over since like 2017, 2018, whatever, the MLB has had this issue where every time the sport is taking a step forward, it's gaining popularity again. People are talking about it again. They impose these rules that just take the eyes right back off. So they don't enforce umpires be getting in trouble for calls, or there's no like reprimand or
they run the whole thing. Dude.
Yeah, there's no fine. There's no like, and it's so old school, right? It's all based in like the history of the sport, and we can't degrade the history of the sport. It's like, all right, dude. If a rule needs to be changed, work on it and change it if it needs to be changed. If it doesn't, don't change it, obviously. But don't have these umpires running around talking about because they got their feelings hurt, they could just toss somebody out of a game, change the whole course of the game because they want the spotlight. Same thing with football and basketball. Like any sport that has an umpire or a referee, they just want that 5 minutes of fame. Like, what, LeBron, you didn't get a foul on that call. you like, and they always like to come back and say, "No, dude, this is how it needs to be done to keep the players in check." It's like, bro, it's the bottom of the ninth, World Series Game 2, and you rung up a ball for strike 3, and now this team with the bases loaded and 1 out now have 2 outs, and guess what? One guy misses on a pitch right down the middle. It's a pop-up, innings over. You know what I mean? Like anything in baseball.
It almost
could
ruins
change.
it. Kind of like what you were saying. It like ruins the whole game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It ruins the game to a certain extent for sure. But yeah, they have like the blackouts. Like you could pay for like MLB season ticket or whatever, and then not be able to watch the games you paid for because of blackouts that they won't fix. There might be blackouts in your area. Basically, the games aren't watchable just because they have like the reasons and stuff, but it's bullshit.
So you pay for things you can't.
Yeah, imagine paying like $120 a year.
What?
Or like 100 or no, actually more. It'd probably be.
It's like my entire paycheck.
It's like $80, but it's like $80 a month or some shit. Can't watch the games you pay for.
That's ass, dude.
But you can watch like games across the country, no problem. So I don't know, man. I just think like those things, like the blackouts, are just so fucking dumb. With how the MLB is like just slowly killing itself, but who knows? At the end of the day, I may be wrong, and the MLB may make a resurgence and be on top again. But it's just tough when you have the top of the MLB not caring. You know, like Rob Manfred. I don't know how you say his name. Just not caring, just not giving a damn.
It's kind of fucked up, dude.
It is. But so the only other thing that I wanted to touch on was, have you kept up with
The Joneses? No.
Oh.
Yeah. Can't say I have been.
So, as of the last like 10 whatever games, the Phillies have been on a slight slide, like have been losing a couple more games than you'd like to see, or you're really like are accustomed to. Throughout the start of the season so far, but the Phillies are like the second best team in baseball, record wise.
Hell
right
yeah!
Yeah.
Phillies, baby.
Oh,
I don't know why I did that.
right.
I don't know. I'm just gonna cancel myself.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Yep. Canceled.
Not again.
But yeah, so the Phillies have been the best team in baseball, or the top 1 or 2, like whatever, the first or the second best team in baseball throughout the first 2 months of the season. It's been insane to watch, because I'm used to the Phillies being in like the second to fourth place, like just being like not great, kind of hanging around, and just kind of expecting them to fizzle out before the playoffs. And then it ironically, that was kind of the case the last couple of years, where you had the Phillies being like a pretty average team for the most part throughout the season. September comes, and they turn it up, and all of a sudden they're in the playoffs. All of a sudden they're in the World Series. Like, how did that happen? Nobody knows. And it happened 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, because it was 2022 or 2021 or no. Yeah, 2021, 2022, and then 2023 they lost to the like last year they lost to the Diamondbacks.
What was the game when they went to the World Series that we were in the car for this?
That was 2020. That was 2021. Or yeah, it was 2021 against the Padres.
Oh, was it?
Was that game in 2022?
No, I don't know, dude. Because that's like not peak COVID, but that was pretty close to where it was. I think we were coming back from the Renaissance Fair.
We were coming back from the Renaissance Fair. Hold on, let me.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
So it was 2022. Yeah, 2020. So it was okay. So that makes sense, because it was 2022, and then we went to the World Series to face the Astros. Yes, that's where I got confused. Okay. 2022, we went to the World
It's okay, you're
Series.
getting old.
Yeah, faced the Astros.
Astro.
Then 2023, we went to the playoffs, but we lost to the D-backs.
Oh.
Yeah, then the D-backs lost to the Rangers. So last year, the Rangers won the World Series.
Aren't the Rangers also a football team?
They are also a hockey team.
Raiders.
The Raiders are a football team.
Oh.
The Rangers are a football or a hockey team and a baseball team. However, the Rangers in hockey are from New York, and in baseball they're from Texas.
Interesting. Okay. So, all right, good. I'm gonna sidetrack you like that.
Oh yeah, so anyway, I kind of sidetracked myself. The Phillies are still, they're 8 games ahead of the Braves, which is massive because for the last I don't even know how long the Phillies have been behind the Braves. Since day one the season starts, the Braves are in first. Just keep it a lock.
Yeah.
And just wanted to go around and go through some of the notable teams that the Phillies are like up there with the Phillies. Most of these teams, or a bunch of these teams, the Phillies have already beaten. Being like the Brewers, who are in the Central, they're at 42 wins, 30 losses. Where the Phillies are at 48 wins, 24 losses. And then the Dodgers, who everybody thought was going to be what the Yankees are really, but they're still really good. The Dodgers are 45 and 29, so
is that pretty good?
it's very good. Yeah,
Yeah, 45. Yeah.
45 and 29. But the best team, pound for pound, what everyone considers to be the best team in baseball currently, is the Yankees, sitting at 50 and 24.
My grandfather was probably gonna love you saying that.
Well, so it won't be that way for long. Hopefully we can get some vendetta for 2009, and the Yankees play the Phillies in the World Series, and we whoop that ass.
Can we make a T-shirt about Can we quote
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Whoop that ass.
I'm telling you, I myself hold a personal vendetta against the Yankees for 2009.
Oh, my grandfather actually has a pretty cool story. You have to stop over on Easter or Thanksgiving or some shit.
Yeah.
He tried out for the Yankees and got asked to do this thing or whatever.
Wow.
He never ended up actually being on the Yankees.
what back in what era?
Oh, dude, I couldn't tell you. It's like an old story he tells all the time.
Yeah.
But he loves baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was younger, we used to throw the baseball around. When I would sort of watch baseball.
Yeah.
But we used to go to the Reading Phillies all the time.
Yeah. The Reading Phillies could be a really cool stadium. Probably one of the best parks in the minors. And just for the family atmosphere.
Yeah.
And you can sometimes see some really good talent before they get called up, or MLB players that are rehabbing. Like last week, prime example, if you went to the Reading Phillies, I think it was last Friday, you would have saw Brandon Marsh play on one of his rehab assignments.
Oh, damn. Okay, so here's my question, right?
Yeah.
How, rounding this whole thing out, how does that work with, you have the MLB, and then you have these other teams, so the minor leagues, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, correct me if I'm wrong in this train of thought here. So, they start out, they make it to the minor leagues. Then, if they're good enough, they go to the majors. They go to the MLB, right? Mm-hmm. So at that point, now we're kind of all right, this guy, let's say Bryce Harper gets hurt. Would he then go to the minors and then rehab there and things like that?
Yeah. Yeah. So, think of it like a factory. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say you come out of college. So when you're in college, well, let's say when you're in high school, you're getting scouted by colleges, and you're lucky if you go to some of the best college baseball schools in America, like Vanderbilt, UNC, Virginia, places like that, okay. Right? You play in college. Let's say you're really, really good, way better than everybody else, for whatever position you're in. Scouts are going to notice that, and you're going to be playing for MLB scouts now. Let's say you go play 3-4 years of college, then they say, "Hey, you've dominated. You're really good. We're going to draft you." Sure. You elect to go into the MLB draft.
Okay.
You get drafted at whatever pick, whatever. You're now signed to the Rays, let's say. You go and you report to wherever play, like however good you are is where you would report. So let's say like you're a really good hitter, but you're terrible at defense. Maybe the AA team doesn't need a good hitter. You would go to single A. So it's 1A, 2A, 3A, single A, AA, AAA. That's the minor league system. And the process that you would go in there is basically you go into the minor. Let's say you go into into the single A, which is like one step up above college, right? But pretty similar. You're playing against guys that also work day jobs. You're playing against guys that maybe have been in there for a couple months, maybe been there for 15 years. It is what it is. Let's say you ball out there. You're going to get called up to the AA team, which is the Reading Phillies. So let's say you're on the Phillies. Let's just keep it simple. You get called up to the Reading Phillies, and let's say you're playing for a couple months. Let's just say conservatively you play on the Reading Phillies for a year or 2 years. Then they say, "Wow, you're consistent. You're getting better and better. You're really good. Let's call you up to AAA." Get called up to AAA. Play for the Iron Pigs. Once you get called up to AAA, if you're really balling out, it won't take long before you'll probably get called up to the majors, unless everybody already on the MLB team is doing really well, or they don't need to make any changes. So guys sometimes get stuck in double and AAA for a while because they're just not needed, or they're still being developed in certain areas. But then, once you're in AAA and you're good enough, or let's say you're a first baseman and you're balling out. They might say, okay, Bryce Harper just got hurt. Bryce Harper needs a surgery. He's out for 6 weeks or 6 months. You might get called up to go play in the MLB. You go up, you're in the MLB, and let's say you suck. Like you're terrible.
Okay.
You might play in the MLB for an X amount of time, and if you don't show any development in that amount of time, they'll send you back down.
Oh, so they'll just be like, dude, goodbye.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, you can also do that for different, like, so let's say, for example, you twist your ankle, and you're our best first baseman, right? Let's say you twist your ankle, and you need 2 weeks to recover.
Sure.
You get sent down to, you might not be put on the injured list, but they may, depending on the amount of time. Each team's a little different, but normally you might just get dropped down to like AAA. I might get called up. As soon as you're healthy, like the day you're healthy, I'm gone. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like I'm back down. So that's how sometimes guys get stuck, kind of bobbing back and forth. You might see a guy play in the MLB, hit 3 home runs in a single game. The next day, he's back in AAA.
So
it's by design. Like you are to fill a role. Unless you are next level, like you're a superstar, you're like you're like it. You're gonna be stuck in until you show that boom, I'm gonna make the next step, and then they'll be like, and you get called up. You're proving yourself. You're playing really well. You'll stay in the MLB. But
so then like someone like Bryce Harper, did he even go to any of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I think he went right to AA. And then AAA, and then the MLB.
Damn. I didn't know it was
but
like
he got
that.
recruited right out of high school, I think.
What?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Damn.
Out of Las Vegas. He's from Las Vegas, if you didn't know.
Damn. I feel like there's...
But yeah, the point I was making with that was the Reading Phillies can be cool to go to because, like, for example, I got to see a guy named Dominic Brown play. And you may not know who that is, but basically back in like 2013, 2014, he was supposed to be like the shit. He was going to be the next like Ryan Howard. He was going to be an outfielder, a tall, lanky, super power hitter, good on defense, just superstar. And I saw him play in Reading before he got that like call up to AAA or the MLB or whatever it was. And he hit like a 500-something foot home run. Just, and like it was like, holy shit. Like he did not look like he belonged on that field. Like he looked like he needed to be higher up.
I know, like there were some times like they always joke when like you hit like a home run like at the Reading Field, like it's like a car crash.
Yeah,
but like balls leave that stadium.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I've seen some tanks. I've seen
Yeah.
some crazy, even by like the opposing team, like some crazy home runs
Yeah.
hit. But yeah, it's all fluid. It's all like, you can go right to Double A. You can go from Double A to the MLB. It's really all about how good of a player you really are. How many they like to say like a 5-tool player, like how many tools you have in your arsenal.
Damn, dude.
Anything else you want to know? This is fun.
I don't know, dude. I don't think there's any questions I can really think of at the current moment. I was just always curious about that because, like, growing up, like, my grandmother would work at the Goggle Works, and then she was at the Better Reading Bureau.
Yeah.
So when I tell you she would get like 30 free tickets,
Yep.
she would get like she would like no bullshit. She'd see her on the weekend or whatever it would be, and she goes, "Hey Matt, go give this to your friends. Go have a night." And it was like a fucking like a stack of them. I'm sure you see, yeah. And they were like long too. Yeah. And us, Tarzinskis, our neighbors, and a bunch of people that are here, we would all just go.
Fun fact: I sang the national anthem on the Reading Phillies field.
Say that again.
I sang the national anthem on the Reading Phillies field before the game one time.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Okay, should probably say also it was me and my choir class. I was in choir, and we went out there and we sang the national anthem. I was in 6th or 7th grade.
Let's hear it right now.
Oh, say, can you? No.
Oh, were you a tenor?
I was a bass.
Bass.
Actually, back then, I think I was a tenor. But yeah, then I got to high school, and they made me a bass.
Interessante.
Oh, Fortuna. I'm not making any of that up. I'm dead serious. I still have the ball that everybody in my choir class signed.
Dang.
Yeah, and the little Phillies hat that the ice cream came in.
Can I tell you a story?
Sure.
About how Mr. Holliday signed a baseball for me.
Roy Halladay?
Roy Halladay. And oh no, I think maybe it was Chase Utley. It's one of the two.
It's a big difference.
I'm pretty sure. I have the baseball still. It's upstairs in my room. It's somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Maybe at my dad's. I don't know. So we get there.
Yeah.
To the Phillies. And I think it was Chase Utley. And then we go down, and they're practicing. We're having a great time. We brought our own baseballs. And he signs it. So I didn't want anyone else to touch the baseball. Okay? So dude signs ball. We're all excited.
Yeah.
My dad signs one. The little brothers. Me signs my ball. I then, on the back of the baseball, take the Sharpie.
I remember this.
And I go, Matt's, do not touch.
Yep.
So the baseball, which was then worth so much, and meant.
What year was this?
I don't know, dude. I had to be like 13, I think.
So what would that be, like 2011?
Something like that. I had the ball exists. It's hidden.
You would have made probably roughly anywhere from like 500 to like $3,000, depending on the year.
What? Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, I was a kid. I mean, you gotta chalk it up sometimes. Hey, maybe I'll tell the story behind it. Someone still wants to buy it. You know.
Maybe. I doubt it. I have a hat signed by Jamie Moyer.
Oh, dude, really?
You don't even know who that is?
Yes, I do. I know exactly who that is.
Who?
He's a baseball player.
What team did he play for?
The Rays.
Did he?
Yeah. Twice.
Oh, gotcha. You got it. Right on the head.
What team do you think he played for?
The Phillies. When I got the hat signed.
I know sports.
What position did he play for?
Shortstop.
He was a pitcher. I'm sorry. It's a little hanging fruit, but it's just funny. Anyway. Sorry, I just thought it was.
I want to wrap it up now. I
Oh
want to go home.
yeah.
Dude, my autism has been full spectrum today.
Yeah, it's
dude.
time to treat this like a burrito and wrap it up.
We should do like some editing thing where it's like a burrito and I fucking like
Put you in Put you in a burrito.
Anyways, take us away, Gavin.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Stuttering in Silence. We really appreciate it. Look forward. Hope you guys are looking forward as much as we are to the stuff you might be seeing on the socials. So if we stuck to our guns and actually did that, then you guys will be enjoying. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But other than that, I guess we'll see you guys next time.